Let's Go Play in the Garden. Order number G652. Post Office Box 186, Station D, Scarborough, Ontario, Canada. M1R5B5. The telephone number is 416-391-2787. Anne Morse, copyright 1989, all rights reserved. The Transeekers is a name we have given to a group of entities numbering between 5,000 and 6,000 that speak through Anne Morse while she's in a trance or sleeping state.
The idea that many have regarding their existence is altering. What was thought of many years ago in the normal, quote-unquote, idea of the masses has altered. Things are changing rapidly. This is not something new that you've just been told. You're sensing it in your own lives. And all of this change is bringing about a further idea that has been thought of and dreamed about. An idea that exists and did exist. The idea of a place where harmony and balance and abundance is merely thought about and then it is manifested. It was termed in certain of your writings, specifically the book, the Bible, as the Garden of Eden. Let us return to this garden. What was there? Everything and anything imaginable. No strife, no struggle. Everything was provided for. Now, they speak of an Adam and an Eve. That is representative, it's symbolic. In a sense, it did exist in that fashion, but more as a symbology. And in that reality, it was a representation of another reality, of a reality where at the slightest whim, whatever it was provided, was there, instantaneously. And it was very, very pleasant. And it existed, as you term time, it existed for a long time. And then one day, it was decided to leave that garden and to go exploring. Leave not only the garden per se, but leave the idea that instantaneously you could create what you wanted, that it was there, provided for you. You had not to worry about it. Now that was pleasant, and it was fulfilling. But there was so much curiosity, so much wondering, what if? What would happen if this happened and that were to to be in play. And so that idea of the garden was left to embark on adventures of a different kind, different sort. And yet it was recreated on the earth plane, because that is what was known. It started off with that. But it was fulfilled in the physical. But even that had its timing. And it was an idea that it was time possibly to do something different. It was done in the conscious. It was done in the physical. But again, there were other questions, other ideas that wanted to be expressed. And so it was decided that it would change. That no longer would those in physical form be looking towards the light. And the light was removed because those choosing to engage in that activity turned away from it to find out how that would feel. What would happen to physical beings when they were not in the light, when they had no idea of their abilities, of their power, and of the idea that they could manifest what they wanted. And so it then evolved. Now in your Bible it states that Adam and Eve fell out of favor with God, for they took of the fruit of knowledge. That knowledge referred to the idea that they wanted to engage in a situation where they would not know of knowledge. It's not that they bit more knowledge. They released themselves from the knowledge, the knowingness, to embark on an adventure. To do what? To reclaim the very thing that they were leaving behind. But to do it in such a conscious manner that it would manifest very differently. Imagine the idea of a consciousness that was fully cognizant of its power. That had not been done before. It was a most wondrous adventure. And it began with wonderful ideas. And through your centuries, it has continued to be the very thing that all strive for, whether it is realized, verbalized, or even contemplated. You seek that which you came from, a garden of most wondrous, wondrous abilities. And you reign supreme in that garden. You've created another garden on the earth plane. All have contributed to it, your garden. But you see, this particular time, your garden, while abundant, is showing signs that it wants to be changed. There is still abundance there for you. You can still manifest what you want. You do it anyway. But you can begin to think about the idea that you can create instantly. Why do you think your society has been dubbed or named the instant society. Everybody seems to want everything instantaneously. And your acceleration is no coincidence. With acceleration, now the word acceleration means to speed up, means to rapidly move. Now, when you move rapidly, supposing you are in a car and you're going 20 miles an hour, you have enough time to look at the scenery. The same car going 200 miles, the scenery becomes blurred. And that is what is occurring. You are blurring your senses to allow for additional vibrational energies to be cleverly snuck in without you knowing it, for you're too busy keeping up. You learn in many, many different ways. And yet there are certain things that faced head on, you would refrain from learning. Therefore, it needs to come to you via other methodologies. And thereby the acceleration, thereby the instant applications of everything around you. And the demand of society for things to happen quickly. Have no time to prepare a 3-hour meal. In half an hour, you sit and you eat, which took all day in the time of the pioneers. One of the things that it took time to do was to go out and get your meal. You bypass that. You go to the supermarket. And even that, find difficulty waiting in lineups. You notice there are a lot of lineups. If everything's become so instantaneous, why is there a slowdown when you get to the part where you have to pay? And what is the payoff for that? What is the fear of parting with something? What is the meaning behind holding on to something that eventually you know you'll need to exchange it for something else? But that is the way of change. And change allows for and compensates for what you believe you are giving up, what you believe you have to pay to receive something. So the lineups become longer. The idea that you will have to pay one day for something is an idea that can be altered. You need not fear that you're giving your money away and that somehow it is not pleasant to do this. Who enjoys giving money to pay bills? You see no merry fool running around laughing merrily because he has to pay bills. You wonder, when you give this money out, will you have sufficient for next month? And for the month after that, and on and on. And so you jealously hold on to the last possible moment when you have to give up something. Now, it is not rationalized to a great degree that while you do pay, you are getting something in return. That seems not to be part of the equation, for it is the worrying of giving up the money, giving up something, that causes the anxiety. Now, in this garden of abundance, there was never any fear that there would not be something coming back to you. But what has been distorted is that your thinking process goes this way. You want something. You think this is what you really want. And then when it is not forthcoming, you have yourself an idea that it will never come to you. And so therefore you think even harder on it, thinking of it will not come to you, and you keep it in your mind. When possibly that which you think you ought to get may not be appropriate for the time when you're asking for it. Now, in the garden of abundance, all that was thought of was that there was a need for sustenance, or there was a need for this to be manifested, or a need for that. It was never thought of, it has to be this way. It was merely the idea that something was needed. Now, there are many books on abundance, many tapings on how to get it. But you see, the word abundance is a very interesting word. The root of the word is dance. What happens when you dance? When you're dancing and you're enjoying yourself, the music flows through you, cares of the day melt away, and everything is fun. Put the dance back into your abundance. You have your abilities to go into that garden, put down seed of what you want, and then allow it to come as it's going to come. Now, yes, we understand that to give up something, to pay for something, especially when the budget is getting rather thin, it does put panic pressure on you. But you see, whenever you've really wanted something, it's been there. Think about it. Whenever you've asked for something that you really have a need for, it has come. Maybe not always in the manner that you expected it to come, but it finds its way to you. How does that happen? Coincidence? Happenstance? No, not at all. For you that is not conscious, and the universe are in sync. And the conscious mind has many things to deal with. Keeping up with the Joneses. Your friend has a better car. Your other friend has just bought a house. Someone else is contemplating going on a trip. And the conscious mind looks at this. And it wants these things. There's nothing wrong with wanting it. You need to understand that to gain the abundance, you need to fully believe you deserve it. Oh yes, we understand that sometimes you say to yourself, I deserve it, I deserve it. Then the next day, something happens and you think to yourself, don't deserve. Will never happen. Didn't happen yet. Isn't going to happen. Then the following day, you're back again deserving it. It is almost like those that want to lose weight and do and then gain it and then do and then gain it and then lose it and gain it. Called it yo-yo. yo-yoing. You do the same with abundance. You cannot believe that it can be consistently there all the time when you want it, when it's there for you to be there. And so you waffle back and forth. And as you're doing that, you're learning. You're experiencing. And you have then, once again, another opportunity that you can take advantage of in the next moment. Every moment holds the abundance of the moment before. Any given moment has all of everything you could possibly imagine and more. There is no moment that there's less of abundance than another moment. What keeps you from abundance is your fear and idea of the things you remember. The memories you collectively have systematically kept in your mind about the way it happened before. You are a new you every moment. Before does not exist anymore. Ahead of you is yet to be. Every moment is a moment you can take to change those memories of the way it happened before. But realize also those memories have within them your successes, when you did get what you wanted, when it was there for you, without you even understanding how it happened, but there it was on your doorstep. Many choose not to focus on those memories. It appears to be easier to focus on the way it went wrong, the way it didn't happen, the way you didn't get what you wanted. But again, does not change that in the now contains everything. You perpetuate those memories each now you exist. You carry them with you. That is why it has been said you can leave the baggage behind. How else could you leave it behind? If it were not so, if you did not create everything in the moment, you would be virtually stuck with those memories, wouldn't you? They'd be there. You could not erase them. And that is not the way it is, for many have changed that. Many are in the process of changing that. Understand your searching for abundance is merely your unwillingness to allow yourself to be in the now, be in the moment. And many would say, but that is easy said. But the landlord, he's in the moment too, and he's after me. But also in that moment there is the abundance that can come through the mail, through a gift, through many other methodologies, through receiving work, through meeting someone that needs something you have, and will pay for it, will give you exchange for it. See, that moment still contains that. But what is focused on? The landlord. And you go right by those other opportunities. Allow yourself to feel the moment. feel your beingness. You have the abundance that you need. The garden is still there. It's not been abandoned. You've not left it. It's changed. That's all. You can still access those things. And you can use any methodology that is comfortable for you to use, for there are many out there. There are many ways to become enlightened. There are many ways to find your abundance. And the garden? Let us take this moment. Those who would choose to come along with us, close your eyes. Become relaxed. And take a wonderful deep breath. Feel the energy coming into your lungs. And exhale it, releasing all the older energy that has been utilized, and thank it for its use. Now relax. Those that can visualize, visualize. Those that feel, feel. But suspend everything at this moment. Nothing exists but you. You in this moment, now. And in this moment in your mind, see yourself coming to a gate. The gate is most wonderful, for it is unique. It's made out of crystal, then it changes to gold, then it changes to transparent film. But you could walk through this gate. It is not a gate that keeps out. It is a gate that is enhancing. And it opens for you wide. Move inside the gate, and as you move inside, your clothing is changed. Now you're in a robe. It is white and you hardly feel it. And it feels comfortable. You hardly know it is there. Move further into this garden. And as you move further into this garden, notice that your body is becoming lighter. Look at your hand. Take it up to your eyes. You can see through it. You're becoming stronger, though. And as you stand in this garden, allow everything around you, all the wondrous jewels, the wonderful gifts, allow yourself to feel them. Off to one corner is a house, a most wonderful house. It's representative of lodgings. Look at that house and feel every fiber of it moving towards you. Not the house, but the feeling. And in that feeling, sense all the rooms. Sense that that is your home. It's easy. There's no resistance of it. It's easy to maintain that home. There will be sufficient ways to keep that home. See it changing, but nonetheless it is your home. Now focus further away from the home. There's a car. Again, feel the car being drawn to you, the energy. See yourself in it. Look around you to all other things. A television set, that job you wanted. This garden has it all. And all you need do is stand there and drink it in from every pore of your body. Those that want a sizable amount in their bank account, see there's a bank there. And you have an account in that bank, and see the bank book large there for you to observe. 5 digits, 6 digits, all there for you. Feel that energy, feel the vibration of it, and adjust your vibration to suit that. You're resonating with it. Those of you that want to go on vacation, every place you ever wanted to visit is there in that garden. All you need do is feel it. Feel the vibration, alter yours to suit it, and then trust that it is yours. Now move in that garden. There is a structure, pyramid-shaped structure. Move towards that. And there is an opening. Go inside. Stairs leading up. And there's a room. This room is a door. Door seems locked. The key is in that door. Turn the key. And in that room, walk in to it. There's a throne. Sit on it. And become very calm, very quiet. And in that room is the key to everything. Love. Feel it. Open yourself up to it. Allow yourself to float within the molecules of that love, of that energy. Your body now is becoming lighter and more transparent, and it is now reacting with the love energy. Open yourself to the abundance that love gives you. All things come from the energy of love. You, dear friends, make the distinction if it's to be good or not. Love is neutral. At this point, you will now move up from the chair, out through the door, descend the stairs, gently move outside, once again in the garden of abundance. Your garden belongs to all. No one is excluded from this garden. Allow yourself to journey there many, many times. There's no restriction of it. Walk through the garden, seeing the objects that you want, seeing the objects that you desire, and know that they will come into your being. And it's not necessarily as you would see them come into it. Trust, they will. And move out. And as you move further out, back to the gate, you find your body is now becoming more solid. Still have the robe on. And as you pass through the gates, notice that your clothes have changed now. And as you move back into the consciousness, back into this reality, allow yourselves to relax. And remember the feeling of those objects. All you need do is to think of an object. If you need to be with it, be with it. Find the resonance of it. Focus on it and you will automatically adjust. There's no trick in adjusting your energies, none at all. And now, take a deep breath. The count of 3, you will return, feeling relaxed. 1, 2, and 3. Now for those who were unable to visualize, there's nothing to worry about. You felt it. It affected you, whether you know it or not. You've allowed yourself to experience whatever level it needed to be experienced at. Everything you do affects you, and everything has a reason that you do it for. That garden can be visited any time. That garden is your life. You do live in a garden of abundance. Begin looking at it that way. And things will become easier in the sense that you will find the periods of struggling will be lessened until you automatically function in the now without even thinking about it. And now we have time for questions. Greetings.
Thank you.
And thank you for the experience.
I've been working with some of these ideas.
Yes, we know.
I'm finding some mischief.
Good. We like to hear this.
In terms of working with group energies
Yes.
and abundance. And I wonder if you would have any further advice for us other than beautiful meditation that was just given.
Specifically.
What comes to mind is the theory of reverse effort, trying too hard.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that would be something to keep a playful attitude.
Yes. The dance.
Again, yes.
The idea is that when you push too hard against something, it implies on other levels that there is not the sufficient trust, that you overdo it. You think that if you fill the cup overflowing, then you're bound to get something. It is, you see this in the litigant situation where one is suing another. They always sue much higher than they think they can get. Why? Put it higher and they get what they want. Same thing when real estate is bought. Oftentimes you set a price higher knowing that someone else will come along and want it lower. And so you still get what you want. Now, that idea, while it works in that application, it still is, in a way, not fully trusting that what you ask for, that you're going to get it. You see, you can fool those But you see, no one, this timing, is really not aware of that. All have idea of this, that is done. When stores have sales, you know that they most of the time mark it up to a degree so that they can say it is on sale. Everybody understands this because there's not sufficient trust that if they put down what they wanted, that they would not get it. And also the idea that you're getting something that is of high value at a low price. Again, that is indicating that there's not trust enough that you get the value for what you give. It is all a game. But the harder you force it, the more you focus on it, it repels it. That is why in that meditation, it was given very easily. There was no effort in bringing those energies to you. That is how easy it is. You have more energy. But if you do not trust that energy, you overdo it, and therefore it indicates not the level of trust that is necessary to easily bring it to you. Therefore, you keep it away until you found that easy level of trusting your energy, your power. That is how that works. Now, to find that level, one would ask, how? How would you do this? How do you know that you're overdoing it? The answer is simple. In your mind, you know if something that you want, you really feel you deserve it. If you're working from that premise, it will be much longer time to get what you want. You need to satisfy within yourself that you deserve it. Then move to a calm and easy pace in your mind and visualize what you want. Know that you deserve it. Feel what you want. Resonate with it. Raise your vibrational rate to that rate, whatever it is. Trust that you can do that. And then say to the universe, that is what you want. And it can come to you in whatever manner it's going to present itself. And then let it go. If it does not appear, which could happen, then either you need to fully examine your deservability, worthiness to receive it. Fear about if you do receive it, then what will it do? How will it change your lifestyle? And the energy you've placed on it can be known by how many times you think about it. Many times you think, was it sufficient energy? If you have to ask yourself that question, then it wasn't enough. Or if you ask yourself, was it too much? Then it was too much. There are many clues that you give yourself on that matter. All of this is in the exercise to achieve your awareness about your subtleties as they relate to things around you. When you operate with those subtleties, you will get to know exactly how much is enough. Each individual has a different level. No two people will exert exactly the same amount of vibration, energy, to get what they want. Even when they go to excess, each individual puts in a different level. So therefore, to set a particular rate would not be beneficial. You will find your own rate. You give yourself the clues, listen to them. The big equation here is the trusting and the worthiness and the knowingness that it will come to pass. Thank you.
Greetings.
Greetings.
Following the long distance call that I got this Sunday, I've been wondering, why did I choose Therese and Albert for relatives? If you can comment on this.
They do challenge you. They do allow you ample opportunity to stretch your creativity, your patience, your mind, your emotions, your sensitivity, and your experiencing the expression of your thoughts. They allow you that. Also, there are other existences that they were involved with yourself. So there is a bonding to that degree. And they chose those particular lives for themselves at this timing because they fit in very well with certain things that you need to learn, as well as things they need to learn. Realize they also chose you. So therefore they are receiving benefit as you are. The phone call in itself has triggered within you many ideas, many thoughts, many feelings. It was appropriately timed to trigger those thoughts, for those thoughts have brought up certain issues. Not that these issues have not been brought up before, but in a different way. Each time they bring up certain issues, you see it differently. You're beginning to realize that you see things in a multitude of different ways, and they all seem to work. They all seem to sort of fit. There's always a reason that, yes, that works too. Now, what this does is it shows you that there are many levels to yourself, there are many emotions there, many ideas, and that any one of them can be right if seen from that perspective. There are no wrongs. You still entertain the idea, which is changing, but it's still there, that there needs to be a right way. That somehow if you would find the right way, the appropriate way, things would be different. What is this showing you? But that there are many ways, and they're all right, but it depends on how you see it. You can view one incident in many different ways, and it means many different things to all the different people that see it in their own individual way. It is broadening you. That is what this relationship, why you chose them. Because they chose that particular type of lifestyle, particular type of characteristics that very nicely bring out those other things within you at a time when you need them to be brought out.
Have I also created a change of attitude of F toward the kids and the friends?
Yes, that is changing, yes.
Do you see a betterment or just a slight change for our work?
It is changing to the degree that you can handle it. Realize there are guilts within the self that are also being lessened, being understood, not taken so seriously. And so you are changing in the appropriate manner and timing according to what you need. Therefore, it is as it should be within yourself for what you need. Now, to change drastically from one thing to another, it's not that the people around you wouldn't adjust, that you would find it difficult, for there would be certain losses implied in certain changes, which as of yet you're still not willing or allowing yourself to move from them. You are altering that, yes. It is an ongoing process, and you're doing it day by day. Some days the light goes on much more frequently than other days. Some days you feel great. Other days you wonder what this is all about. And is there really any validity to what you've been told, what you've thought, what you've read? And yet other days everything goes so smoothly that it could not be any other way but the way you now are thinking about it. Those days it is not going so well, realize those are the days that you're really changing. Those are the days the resistance are saying, wait a minute, we don't think we want to do this quite yet. And so the self goes through that particular type of a cycle. But on the days when everything is working and everything is in harmony, it's wonderful. All of those other times have led to those days when things are so connected that you wonder how you did not see this before. But it is an ongoing thing, and you are moving very rapidly. Truly, you're moving more rapidly than you think you are. Thank you.
Yes.
Greetings.
Greetings. A couple of weeks ago, a friend of mine and I were working on moving water streams in Prince Edward County.
Yes.
And the two of us visualized exactly the same thing without speaking about it beforehand. It was that we saw portions of the stream come together and energy wrap around the stream to hold it in place, as well as around the ends. And about a week later, when we were working under the pyramid with my source, I saw two streams of thought, which I think I remember as the I that I am stream and the I that I will be future stream come together and wrap around with energy in precisely the same manner.
Yes.
Can you tell me the significance of these two events and what occurred here?
The dream reinforced what was visualized by the two and what has been spoken of this evening. It implied and it gave the indication that while you see two streams, that which you are and that which you will be. Now realize water is the symbol for life, for the flow of life is like in the flow of water. Now in water there are many life-giving properties. And so the analogy that you saw these streams, two streams, come together, solidly locking together, causing an energy, almost an energy vortex, holding it strongly, indicated in your dream that the now, the I that you are now and the I that you will be, in fact, are always one. There is no will be. You always are now. The term will be is given to facilitate the idea that you've created as of time, as a consecutive, linear, ongoing thing. But in actual fact, the I that you are is the I that you will be, is the I that you were. It is always the I in the now. And that is what was bringing to you the idea that you need not feel yourself as you are now and as you will be, but that you are always the I now. And so in that knowledge, the vortex of energy that is created when the two meet is the power in the now. You did it with the water, and it was reinforced in your dream state, representing what you had experienced in visualizing the water do that. So therefore, it was reinforcing and indicating once again that you need not separate the I that you are and the I that you will be, for all is in the now. You are now. The I is now.
I noticed a radical shift in the energy. It was much smoother after the
Yes, of
two
course.
went together.
Yes, for there is not the idea that you're waiting for the I that you will be. For when you do that, you tend not to appreciate the I that you are. And so in that way, it causes somewhat of displacement in the energy. But when it comes together in the now, and all is understood that you are everything now, then the shifting of energy is evident, for there is more power with that, more power in the one. That is why even in the number 3, it is the coming together of the 3, of the connotation of 3. It is the melding that creates the power. That is why the 3 is powerful, because it can come together and be one.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Greetings, Transeekers.
Greetings.
September the 28th, this year, 5:35 p.m. I laid down for a nap, and I had a symbol appear to me, and it had strange markings on the back of it, and I could feel a tremendous amount of energy open up within me, and I had sent this energy out to a little individual who's in Greece right now and battling with cancer. I'm very curious, very curious whether this energy was of any assistance.
Yes, it was.
Thank you. And I sat down that afternoon and I did some automatic writing, and a name called Atro came to me. And I'm just curious who Atro is. Was this the individual that I had a short dream about on the 8th month, 6th day, 89 in the morning?
No.
No? Okay.
This was the name that was given you in an existence where you did heal, where you were very, very well regarded in that area. You knew much more than those around you even realized. You kept much of it to yourself, for you felt it was very sacred what was happening within you. And therefore you did assist others, and you used symbols, you used natural elements, and you invoked within yourself an altering of the self to allow for the amplification of that energy to assist in healing. That is why that name was there. It was, in a way, triggered by that incident.
What's my connection with the little girl? I'm very, very much taken with her, and I don't know why.
In that lifetime that we've spoken of, that was your daughter. And in that lifetime, you were unable to assist her, for you were too close. It was something that you were very, very unhappy about. And so in this existence, it is the remembrance of that, of the inability that prompted you to do this for her. And thank you. Greetings. Greetings. How many lives have I lived physically? 3,125. Thank you.
Yeah, I was wondering if you would assist me in
Greetings.
Greetings. Yeah, that's it.
How may we assist you?
To help me activate the divine will within myself.
Now, what is divine will?
Omnipresent.
And what does that mean?
I am all that is.
Yeah. How do you think you'd activate that all that is within you?
Open. Be open.
Yeah. What things would you need to do action-wise so that you would know that you've activated it? What would be the signs for you? How would you know?
Freedom from fear.
What else?
Being in the moment.
Yeah. What is fear? How do you see fear?
Reverse energy.
More than that, how do you see fear?
I see fear as we've learned over generations and generations, and it's being spoon-fed to us as babies.
Fear has other connotations to you. Fear also means to you how others see you. You have been battling that one.
Fear from that,
Yes. Yeah. You ventured into an area where you have allowed yourself to be involved with people in a way that might be termed less than normal, quote unquote normal. And already in doing that, do you not think you accessed that all within you?
Yeah, but I don't feel the love still.
Love from where?
From self.
Therefore, what about self is there not to love? What is it that you do? Now realize that you do now. Not that you remember yourself doing. Again, as we did say prior, many take those memories of what went before and keep them in the now. So you're reacting to those memories, are you not? Think about it. That is how you access that. You already have it. You've already accessed it. Is that you periodically keep remembering the way you were, the things that you've done, and somehow that does not equate with the rightness that you feel you need to feel within yourself to love yourself. It is those memories, it is not in the now, that actually is going on. Things that you're doing now are not the things that you are not able to love, are they?
How do I shed those memories then?
Is to realize that by keeping yourself thinking about those, and thinking to yourself when you engage in a situation, you think to yourself, oh, that is the way I did it before. And before, it wasn't too good. So therefore, still I can't love myself. You see, the trick is, there's really no trick to it. The idea is to love those memories, who you were then, who you are now, and who you are evolving each moment into being. You love all those aspects of yourself, everything, everything. Nothing you leave out. You love everything. And then realize that you need not continually think about the past. Continually think about those things that didn't go right, that were not quite good. But you see, you judge it from your goodness, your estimation of good. And you only judge it in that manner because you look outside of yourself and you see that there are others there who are better, who are gooder, excuse the English, but who have more than of those qualities. Now, when you look at someone, do you see their loving qualities? Yes, you do. Now, if you see that in someone else, you have it in you. All you need do is to know that. So in fact, you put a carrot there in front of yourself and you keep chasing it, looking for something that you already have. Accept that you have it. You have great love within you. Allow yourself to know it, and it will gradually work into your actions even more so, without you even thinking that, I think I will do this because it is good to do this. You will naturally do it without even giving it a second thought. Love everything about yourself. Leave nothing out. That is how you access. That is how you consciously access that. And then the fears will not be there, for you cannot have fear where there is total love and trust. It does not exist in that environment. It is only when there's a bit of doubt about the loving, about the trusting, about the goodness of self, that fear has an opportunity to teach you that which you already know, but consciously are rediscovering.
Things in a negative, like, not in a negative
You're
way.
moving to another level, and that other level is more exposure, causing you to meet more people, causing those people that you meet in a larger quantity, that some of them may not be kind towards you and what you do. Also, you are receiving additional energies, and it is just slightly putting you off balance, which is fine, for you need to be off balance certain times. This causes you to think in one way when you're really getting information in another way. You do that all the time. That is why at this particular juncture you're meeting up with a lot of negativity, because that is what you're bringing forward due to levels of yourself that know that there's changes going to be happening.
Just one more question. What about those fears? I feel them coming from the inside out. Like,
Yes. Yes.
is that
They
weird?
feel like you're coming from inside out, but it also realize that when you do it, as you do it from the inside out, you need to have something out there to reflect back to you. And in that reflecting back, the judgment then is given by the self. That because you see the negative coming back, it reflects that way. Therefore, you need to feel the negativity. Now, all that means is that you're shifting, and as you're shifting, new levels of depths of your exploration in your learning are being activated. Other ways of looking at what you're doing, which prior to now you would never think about. But as you do that, you then find other ways of dealing with that situation. It is a stretch you. It will not last. It is from the inside out, but you also need it reflecting back to you to make that judgment call. It happens so quickly that it's almost undiscernible that is what is happening. It is the coming back to you and you're judging it that is making you feel the negativity is going from inside out, which it is. But also it is because you put judgment on the reflection of it back to you, the negativity coming back to you, that also adds to that anxiety.
Do you feel this message on an energetic level also?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
It is being received throughout levels within yourself that will manifest approximately 2.5 weeks from now. Thank you.
The question that was asked about the number of lives, did that include future lives also?
Yes.
That include partial lives such as dying, childbirth, and such?
Yes, that would be physical too.
That actually brings up an interesting comment then. At the end of that term of lives then, you rejoin with your overself, or what happened?
We did not say it ended. She merely asked at this point, and at this point that is what we perceive. It does not mean that it cannot continue. You see, the idea of time, you will learn, is so different that to give lives in the numbers is somewhat, not unfair, but is somewhat not of tremendous value. We understand the desire to know this, but you see, it is ongoing simultaneously. So there is never an end to it. But from this timing, that figure is appropriate. In a year's time, that figure will change.
So it's in constant flux.
Yes.
That's why the figure is not too important.
To a degree, yes. But it is important in the sense that the individual has the curiosity to open the subject up about different lifetimes. And in that way, it is a question that we answer from that perspective, that it is an opening to explore those other lifetimes. You see, there's always one reason leading to another, even if the basis for the answer is not fully necessary. It always has a purpose to it.
How many lifetimes, and I ask a question here, how many lifetimes is she resonating with right now, in past and future?
This lifetime, from this perspective, there are 10. Already has dealt with 4 of them to the degree that satisfactorily has worked through them. The other remaining are more major in intensity, therefore are being left, so to speak, for the latter part of the existence, for however long it is deemed.
Would it be important to know whether they're past lives or future lives, or how the split is? Does it matter?
Not at this point. It does not. As it is, from this perspective, 7 are past and 3 are future, as you term your past, present, and future, in that terminology. And thank you.
Greetings, Transeekers.
Greetings.
I'm taking part in a holistic metaphysical fair in another city next month in November.
How interesting and how wonderful.
And
You'll find much excitement there.
I hope so.
Yes.
I've laid my groundwork and my plans very carefully, and I'm wondering if there's anything that you could add that maybe I should add to it in the sense of making it successful.
No. You've done a very thorough application of all of the areas that are of interest to you, and merely allow yourself to, we know we need not say this, but we will in any event, have fun. And thank you.
What blocks have I created to instant manifesting?
Yes, our friend. Wondering when we'd hear your dulcet tones. What blocks have you manifested so that you cannot manifest instantly? What would happen if you did manifest instantly, this very moment? Think of a rose and find it in your hand now. What would happen? Everyone in this room would run up to you and say, "Do it for me." How did you do it? You must be great. You have such power. How do you do it? Do it again and again and again. You see why that idea of instant manifesting might cause a little anxiety within you? The idea is that it can be done, it is done. And you have the capabilities of doing it as others. The blockage is there for the timing when you fully can accept that if you do manifest instantly and others know of it, you will not be deluged with all of the rest of the wants and the needs. Now think about it. Think clearly about it. If you were to manifest instantly, could you manifest home for the homeless? Could you manifest food for the hungry? Think about it. They would call you selfish if you did not do these things. Now that might seem far-fetched, but in a manner it is not. Look what people demanded of the Christ. They wanted him to heal instantly. They know that he could do it. He was deluged with people. Do you think it would be any different today? No. Yes, we did hear that, of course. The way things are these times. Now realize, if you would say, well, why can I not do it in private? But you'd want to tell somebody, wouldn't you? You'd be dying to tell somebody. Yes. Yeah. We suggest that you begin to manifest in a calmer fashion, allowing things to come to you. Now, let us take, for instance, something that you know well, the idea of lodgings. That is why we put the house, one of the reasons we put the house in the garden for you. The idea is that you knew, think about this, you knew almost 4 or 5 months ago, did you not, that things might go in this direction. What did you do? No, you waited. You waited calmly, hopefully, hang in there. Things may not be as you see them. They may be just indigestion, and that it might change. Yeah. Will you do that again? Will you wait again? When you know something in you is saying, look at this, at least check it out. For think about it, if you had taken action then, would your position be different now?
Yes.
Yes. Now, we do not say this to criticize or to make you feel bad. We say this because you felt it yourself. We did not say we felt it for you. You felt it then, but did not trust it. The whole idea of the session this evening is the idea of trusting that feeling. Again, when you come upon a situation, you will trust it, and you will activate something to allow you not to get to the point where you are now. Now, you need not worry now either. No need for the panicking. Relax with it. Again, in your mind, you're saying that is very easy, but time is ticking away. It is coming very close. We suggest you relax. There will be solution for you, and it will be manifested by you. And as you continue to manifest and work with the principles that you're working with, we also suggest create some of your own principles. Search your mind for other ideas. Take what you've read, what you've learned, run it around in your mind, and then come forth with something different. Experiment. You would say, but time not to experiment. Need to do it right now. You have ample time. Take the time. You will not be left in the lurch. Truly you will not. It will come out of the blue. But it will be of your doing and of your manifestation. Again, allow yourself to begin. You've already begun. That's not the word to use. Continue to manifest things as you're doing it. And if something doesn't work in the time frame you've allotted, change your methodology. Alter it slightly. Do something a little different. You do have ample time for it. Let that wonderful imagination go to work for you. Thank you.
Greeting again.
Greetings.
I would like some comment on my daughter. She seems to go through a rough stage lately.
Yes. It will be very much the same for yet a little while longer. That is nothing wrong with that. What are you learning from it? What are you learning from it?
I have no idea.
Find that out, and she may not have to continue in the manner that she is. Realize you have a symbiotic relationship. Everything is there for its own purpose to assist you. How is her behavior upsetting you? How is it causing you to have to come up with other solutions, other ways of dealing with certain situations? How are you able to either comfort her, either listen to her, talk with her?
I would like to know how to comfort her. I don't know.
Listen. She is saying things.
Leave me alone.
She says more than that. But even if that, let us take that.
So I
There's a
just leave her
positive in
alone?
that, yes. But you say to her, I will leave you alone, for that is what you want. But know that I'm always here for you when you need someone that you want to listen to you. Now, you might say, but that doesn't help my household. When she says, leave me alone, it is when I want her either to do something, go somewhere, say something, interact somehow. But there are, even within children, adolescents, within adults, time to be alone. She's not rejecting you. She's merely trying to find herself in the only way she sees at this point. But always offer her the opportunity that you're there to listen to her. Yes, I'll leave you alone.
Alone many times, only occasionally when I come and want to talk to her because I see that she's annoyed by something.
Write her a letter. There are other ways of communicating. Make a tape. Other ways of getting to someone. Use your creative ability. Send her a little note. Write her a book. Something small, but shows that you're thinking about her in different ways, and think about the way you approach her. So far, it's always been in a certain style, although you varied it somewhat. But more than not, it is the mother addressing the child, not a person to a person. Think about that. You'll get much mileage from that approach.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Final comment, please.
The idea that you're in this garden, some would call it a garden of misfortunes. Some would call it a garden of terrible injustices, unfairnesses. Why does that one have and I do not? While if that's the garden you want to occupy, then that is what you have. But it is not the only garden. It is not the only way to see it. You have an abundance. It is there at your fingertips. Allow yourself to be part of the garden. You're not separate from it. You're in it. You are it. You are the energy that manifests this garden that you're in. Take advantage of it. Allow it to give you in the way that it needs to give to you what you need and what is there appropriate for all of the steps in all of the lessons that you're learning from. And we do thank you. And to you, God's blessings. Came out of that session, it was the strangest thing. I was in a supermarket, and I just love supermarkets. It was an interesting supermarket because when I walked in, I was told, I was given this big shopping cart, and I was told I could have anything I wanted. And it made me kind of nervous. I thought to myself, what do you mean I can have anything I want? When do I pay for this stuff? What am I going to do for it? What do you want me to do for it? It was like, and there was nobody else there. I mean, I had the whole place to myself, and there was some really nice stuff. I mean, talk about your treasures. There was jewelry, and there was everything, gold, everything. I mean, it was anything, everything. I mean, it was heaven. But I always had this feeling that somebody was watching. It was like, and I thought, what if I take too much? Will they say that's it, forget it, or when is it going to quit? And I really was kind of hesitant about going around and paying all this stuff, and nothing happened. And I thought, well, let me try, So I was putting stuff in, and I was going around, and my shopping cart got full. It's like up to here, and I was teetering, trying, and still nobody. But I thought somebody's watching me, and so, okay, I've had enough. Obviously, they've only given me one cart, and this is all. Okay, take my stuff home. And as I got to go out, somebody came, and I thought, here it is. Day of reckoning has come. And it was a nice person in a really nice outfit. And he said, it was a he, and he said, did you have fun? And I said, well, not the beginning, but yeah, by the end of it, I was getting the hang of it, And he said, great, here's another shopping cart. I said, come on, this is enough for me. I mean, listen, I feel kind of piggish, taking all of this stuff. He said, don't be silly. And there, another one was right there in front of me, and he said, go to it. And I said to myself, oh, dear, what else can I have? I mean, all of this stuff I've got is a lot. When will I ever use all of this? And then he said to me, don't worry about that. Just go get more stuff. And so I went around. This time it didn't take me long. But what was interesting was that everything changed. It was a whole new set of things that I didn't have before. And so I went around, and I got back again, and I thought, okay, 2 shopping carts, great. Now, and he's there again, and I'm thinking, now I like this guy, and this is a nice guy. And I